Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Chester Racecourse here on Wednesday. It is May the 10th, 2017. Gonna look at all the races on today's program from Chester, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKit5 for more selections for racecourses around the world. So let's get on to it. We have 7 races from Chester. It's gonna be a great festival. So let's get on to it. Starting off with race number 1, the 150 post time. It's Stellar Group Lily Agnes Conditions Stakes. It's Class 2 conditions race here, going for a purse of $24,500. It's for 2-year-olds only. Colts and fillies are allowed in this one. Field of 11 horses going at the 1,000-meter trip or 5 furlongs here at Chester. And before I get onto this, you have to really look where your horse is drawn on this race course. You want the inside. If you're drawn outside, you don't do that well, because if you look at the track diagram, it's basically a circle you're running in, and you need to save ground here, and it's just speed from the rail. It's like here in America, here in New York, actually, during the winter we run at Aqueduct, and they have a special track that's winterized called the Inner Track at Aqueduct, and that's a racetrack where we want to be speed from the rail. It kind of reminds me of Chester in a completely different way, but in the similarities is you want speed from the rail. So that's how they kind of those are similar tracks: Aqueduct, Inner Track, and Chester. But just to keep that in mind, you want speed from the rail. Cannot stress that enough. Outside, to throw your horse out right away. But I like the number 11 horse in this one as a top pick in racing 1. Number 11, Yogi's Girl. I'm going to go 11-4-7 in the TriCast of the trifecta. 11-4-7, but my top pick, number 11, Yogi's Girl, breaking from post position number 3. J.F. Egan is on this David Evans trained 2-year-old filly out of Harbor Watch. This horse has 2 starts under his belt already. Most recently on the 24th of April at Windsor, 5 furlongs and fillies at novice auction class 5. Horse won by a half length, was 10-1 that day. Broke from post position number 5, which isn't half bad there, and just had a very good closing kick that day. Breaking from the inside today, I think that's very good. She's carrying low weights and she's a filly, only 123 pounds. I think that's even better, and I think she should run a very big one here today. Her first career start was an absolute disaster at Wolverhampton on the 8th of April. 5 furlongs and novice fillies class 5. Horse finished 9th by 6.5 lengths that day. Was a little very, very wide that day and didn't have the best of closing kicks. Beat one horse home. It just wasn't her day to win. Had a lot of 2-year-old antics that day. I think here today, this horse should have a better run, so watch out for this one. So to recap my bets for the 150, the first race from Chester, gonna go with the 11 horse Yogi's Girl. I'm gonna go 11-4-7 in the TriCast of the trifecta. To race number 2 now, the 225 is the Arkle Finance Cheshire Oaks. It's fillies listed stakes here for Class 1 horses, going for a purse of $74,000. It's for 3-year-olds fillies only. Field of 7 horses going the 1 3/8 distance here on the turf course, which is 2,200 meters if you want to go by that. My top pick on this one, I like the number 4 horse Enable. I'm going to go 4-2-7 in the TriCast of the trifecta. 4-2-7, but my top pick, number 4, Enable. John Gosden trains this one. Frankie Dettori is on this one. Most recently, this horse had to start on the 21st of April at Newbury, mile and a quarter in a Class 3 conditions race. Horse finished 3rd by 2 1/4 lengths that day, and beat 3 horses home that day, but that was nothing to call home about. He just didn't quicken up at the end so much. It was his first start since the fall, so I think he needed the race. Start before November the 28th at Newcastle, 1 mile in the all-weather and maidens fillies class 5. Horse won by 3 3/4 lengths that day and had a great turn of foot at the end. It was an all-around great race. I think second off the layoff, has a good post position number 3 stall. I think this horse should have a very good run, so watch out for this one. So to recap my bets for the second, the 225 from Chester, it's the Cheshire Oaks. Gonna go with the 4 horse Enable. Gonna go 4-2-7 in the TriCast of the trifecta. To race number 3, the 3 o'clock now from Chester, it's the Bootles Diamond Handicap. It's a Class 2 handicap here, going for a purse of $37,000. It's for 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 13 horses going the distance of ground of 5 furlongs or 1,000 meters on the turf course. My top pick in this one, I like the 8 horse El Astronate. I'm going to go 8-6-1 in the TriCast of the trifecta. 8-6-1, but my top pick, number 8, El Astronate. 9-2, Jason Hart is on this 4-year-old gelding out of Approve. John Quinn trains this one. Most recently, his horse had his first start of the year in Newmarket back at the Craven meeting on the 18th of April. 5 furlongs on Class 3 handicap. Horse won by nose that day and had a great turn of foot at the end. It's just an all-around great victory for this horse that day. His last start last year was an absolute disaster, though. That came in Haddock, the 3rd of September, 5 furlongs in a Class 2 handicap. Horse finished 11th by 14 lengths. It was a very large field of 12 horses, and this horse was bet down to the 5-1 favorite at post time. He hit the wall in the stretch, I'm telling you, that day. He just really hit the wall. He weakened out of it. It just wasn't his day to win. And then at Espin on the 29th of August, 5 furlongs in a Class 2 handicap. Horse won by half length, was a favorite that day, but drew off clear, had a very good turn of foot, was towards the front, and, it was just an all-around great victory. It starts before against tougher horses at York, Goodwood, and York again. Those weren't that good, but like I said, they were against tougher. I think here, stepping down in class, breaking from the inside barrier, he should have a very good run. So to recount my bets for the 3rd, the 3 o'clock from Chester, it's the Boodles Diamond Handicap. Going to go with the 8 horse, El Estrenante. Going to go 8-6-1 in the TriCast of the trifecta. To race number 4, the 335 from Chester. It's featured on the first day of the festival. It is the 188-bet Chester Cup Handicap. It's Class 2 handicap here, going for a purse of $147,500. That's in American currency, so don't get confused. It's for 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 19 horses. The 18 and 19 are also eligibles or reserves, so they draw in if one of the main bodies of the field scratches or withdraws. So we're most likely going to have 17 horses here going the 2 miles and 3/8 distance, which is quite a stayer's distance, and I think there's like 4 laps or something like that, or 2.5, 3.5, something like that on this race course, because it's only like a mile in circumference, just under a mile, I believe, and you want a good poster on this race, and I like the 4 horse Waters Meet as a top pick. I think from post 6 he should have a very good run, especially in a field of 17 horses. So I'm going to go with the 4 horse Waters Meet. I'm going to go 4-10-14 in the TriCast of the trifecta, 4-10-14, but my top pick, number 4, Waters Meet, 10-1 with Franny Norton. Most recently, his horse had a start on the 14th of April at Linkfield, 2 miles over the all-weather in a conditions Class 2. Horse finished second by 1 3/4 lengths that day at 7-1. He didn't quicken up that day. He couldn't catch the winning story, but this horse, showed his, held his own out. Maybe he needed the race, but he should do second off the layoff. Start before 7 weeks earlier, 6 weeks earlier, whatever it was. March to 2nd at Chelmsford City, 2 miles in a Class 2 conditions race. Horse won by 3 lengths that day. From the rail, he had a very good run, and he just quickened up very nicely that day. 2 weeks before, February the 16th at Linkfield, 1.5 miles in a Class 2 conditions race. Horse again won by 2 lengths. Another easy victory. It was the best horse by a mile, and proved it. And then 1.5 miles at Newcastle in a Class 2 handicap. Horse finished 3rd by 2.5 lengths. He finished 3rd that day, but he held his own out against his tougher field. I think the distance shouldn't be a problem. He had, his last start he needed. Second off the layoff today. He should have a very good run. So watch out for this one. So to recap my bets for the 4th, the 335 from Chester. It's Chester Cup Handicap. Gonna go with the 4 horse Waters Meet. I'm gonna go 4-10-14 in the TriCast or the trifecta. To race number 5, the 405 from Chester now. It is the Sporting Index Handicaps. Class 3 handicap here, going for a purse $19,500. It's for 3-year-olds only, rate 71-90. Field of 8 horses going the distance of ground to 2,400 meters, or 1 mile and 1/2 here on the turf course. My top pick in this one, I like the 6 horse Here and Now. I'm going to go 6-1-7 in the TriCast of the trifecta, 6-1-7, but my top pick, number 6, Here and Now, 10-1, Paul Hannigan for Ralph Beckett. Most recently, his horse had started on 12th of April, Kempton, mile 3/8 in a Class 3 handicap. Horse finished 3rd by 3 lengths behind Monarch's Glen that day. He needed the race. Monarch's Glen, nobody was catching him that day, but this horse, he needed the race. I think coming to turf today for the first time, he should run a lot better. Start before about 3 weeks earlier on March 17th at Linkfield, 1.5 miles in a Class 5 maiden race. Horse won by 1/4 lengths. Was even money that day in a field of 4 horses. Best horse by a mile, improved. It had a very nice turn of foot. And then Kempton, February 22nd, and 1 mile 3/8 maiden Class 5. Horse finished second by a neck that day. He just missed. Really nice turn of foot also that day. Stepping on turf, breaking from the inside stall, facing tougher last time out. He should have a very good run here today. So to recap my bets for the 5th, the 405 from Chester, it's the Sporting Index handicap. Going to go with the 6 horse here and now. I'm going to go 617 of the TriCast of the trifecta. To race number 6 now from Chester, the 435, it's the Deep Bridge Capital Maiden Stakes. It's Class 3 maiden race here, going for a purse of $17,000. It's for maidens 3-year-olds. Field of 10 horses going the distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/4 or 2,000 meters here on the turf. My top pick in this one, I like the number 6 horse, Never Surrender. I'm going to go 652 in the TriCast of the trifecta, 652, but my top pick, number 6, Never Surrender. 6-1, Jamie Spencer on the Strail Colt out of High Chaparral. Most recently on the 26th of April, Epsom, mile and a quarter in a Class 2 conditions race. Horse finished 5th by 7.5 lengths that day behind Cracksman. He needed the race. He didn't quicken up at all that day. And, he was a little bit farther back also. You don't want to be so far back there. Here, I would like to see this horse actually sit a little bit closer here today also. But start for April the 1st at Doncaster, mile and a quarter Class 5 maiden. Horse finished 2nd by half length. First start of the year, it wasn't a half bad race. He quickened up a little bit that day, but still needed a little extra kick. His last start last year came at Newmarket, October the 1st, 1 mile Class 4 maiden race for 2-year-olds. Horse finished 2nd by 7 lengths. He couldn't catch the winner, who just ran incredibly well, but it wasn't a half bad race. He was 2nd best for sure. And then Doncaster in a 1 mile Class 5, Class 3 maiden race. Horse finished 4th by half length. It wasn't half bad again that day, but it was an all-out finish, and he just didn't get the head in front. But I think here today, from the rail, he should have a very good run. So to recap my bets for the 435, the 6th from Chester, it's the Deep Bridge Capital Maiden Stakes. Going to go with the 6 horse, Never Surrender. I'm going to go 652 in the TriCast or the trifecta. To race number 7 now, the final race in the program, the 505. It's the Darius Global Foreign Exchange Handicap. It's a Class 4 handicap here, going for a purse $15,000. It's for 4-year-olds, an upward rate 71 to 85. Field of 14 horses going the distance of ground of 1,400 meters or 7 furlongs here on the turf course. My top pick in this one, I like the number 12 horse, Twin Point. I'm going to go 12-1-8 in the TriCast or the trifecta, 12-1-8. But my top pick, number 12, is Twin Point. Stevie Donahue is on this 6-year-old gelding out of Invisible Spirit. He's making his first start in nearly 3.5 months, most recently, or almost nearly 3 months, most recently at Linkfield, February 24th, 7 furlongs in a Class 3 handicap. Horse finished 8th by 8 3/4 lengths that day. He ran well in his 2 races over the winter, but that one he didn't run very well. He really weakened out of it. He hit the wall. He was done 2 furlongs from home that day. It just wasn't his day to win. Start before at Kempton, 1st of February in a 7 furlong Class 4 handicap. Horse won by half length. Had a good turn of foot at 5.5 to 1. It was just an all-around great race for this horse. And then at Linkfield, 1 mile Class 4 handicap back in November. Horse finished 2nd by 1/4 lengths. He just missed, but it wasn't a half bad race that day either. I think coming back to turf, he should have a very good run. So to recap my bets for the 7th from Chester, it's the Darius Global Foreign Exchange Handicap. Going to go with the 12 horse. I'm going to go 12-1-8 in the TriCast of the trifecta. So good luck to all, and follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5. Good luck.